As we've learned over the years, even the biggest and best movies in the world often feature some pretty funny mistakes. Of course, having a few mistakes doesn't make them bad movies, it's just an extra fun thing for us to look for.
This is it.
Enjoy the slip-ups on our list and be sure to stick around to the end to find out about some bonus mistakes that our friends over at The Richest were able to find.
That's a good idea, honey.
For now, here are 10 movie mistakes you won't believe made the cut. Enjoy the video, and be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all our new stuff.
Something tells me a whole lot of people are about to die.
Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is by no measure a perfect movie. Actually, it's not even close. So it's not really surprising that along with the poor decisions the film made, it also made some visible continuity mistakes too. When Harley is changing and the whole crew stops to look at her undeniably hot body,
What?
there is a continuity mistake that totally slips through. In the moment right before we see that Will Smith's Deadshot is wearing a white shirt, the movie then cuts to Harley's stripping scene. But when we cut back, Smith is wearing a totally different dark-colored shirt. We're guessing that Robbie's bod distracted most fans, and it looks like the folks editing Suicide Squad may have been distracted as well. Doctor Strange. With Cumberbatch leading the way, the film introduced us to some new magical elements of the MCU, but unfortunately, all the magic in the world couldn't fix some mistakes in this film. At one point, Stephen Strange is at home looking for help on a video chat, and when he becomes frustrated, he throws everything on his table to the ground. Christine then enters with food for him, and when the camera cuts back, we can see that all of the things he just knocked to the ground have magically been placed back on the table. Now, Doctor Strange may have some awesome powers, but we don't think instant tidying up is one of them. The Wolf of Wall Street. Not counting a 2005 documentary that is literally called The F Word, The Wolf of Wall Street holds the record for the most uses of the expletive in a film, with 506 F-bombs.
Joe, stupid. You know what?
You like a maniac. You know the attention that draws.
The movie is a wild ride, and along with all the swearing, there's also some pretty steamy sex scenes between Leo and Margot Robbie. One of these scenes actually features a pretty funny continuity error, as Leo's pants magically jump onto his body between cuts after his final lovemaking session with Robbie. We're guessing you probably didn't catch this editing mistake, as there are a lot of other things on the screen to be looking at, but once you've seen it, it's hard not to laugh at.
That explains it then.
Okay. Eyes on me.
Jurassic World. Although it was met with mixed critiques, there's no denying that Jurassic World was a commercial success, as it raked in well over $1.5 billion in 2015. The movie was undoubtedly exciting, and Chris Pratt did a great job with his character, but unfortunately, even with all that money behind it, the movie still had some visible slip-ups. In the scene when Hoskins first approaches the raptor cage, we can see that his watch shows approximately 2 p.m. After the rescue of the staff member who falls into the pit, the shot cuts back again to Hoskins, and his watch now reads 1 p.m. This movie features a lot of crazy science, but we don't think it dealt with time travel. So we're gonna have to chalk this one up as a continuity error. La La Land. La La Land is a force to be reckoned with, as the 2016 Hollywood musical has now officially tied the record for most Oscar nominations of all time. This film takes every last detail into consideration, but even the most carefully crafted cinema can fall victim to some continuity issues. On the day Sebastian, played by Ryan Gosling, visits Mia, played by Emma Stone, at her coffee shop, Mia had been shown entering work wearing black pants and carrying a yellow bag. But when Mia leaves work, she's wearing a blue skirt and holding a red bag. Over the next few cuts, Mia's outfit continues to change from skirt to pants. It's a very small mistake, and in a movie that has the actors singing and dancing through the stars, this little slip-up likely goes unnoticed. Avengers: Age of Ultron. The Avengers movies admittedly have a lot on their plates, with all of the characters and storylines needing to intertwine in just the right way to make sure everything in the MCU makes sense. It is understandable then how some small editing errors can slip past the filmmakers and make it to the final cut. In Avengers: Age of Ultron's big chase through the streets of Seoul, Captain America's shield starts out with a few scratches and smudges that are clearly visible. While his shield is strong, we don't think it has regenerative powers, so it must be an editing mistake that by the end of the chase, Cap's shield is magically spotless. Hell or High Water. Hell or High Water was one of the most criminally underrated and underwatched films from 2016, and hopefully its Best Picture nomination will help convince more people to go see it. If you do take the time to see this thrilling piece of cinema, try to catch the editing mistake from the start of the film. As Ben Foster and Chris Pine are driving off after their first bank robbery, Foster is shown taking off his right glove and putting the hand back on the steering wheel. But in the next shot from outside the car, his gloves have magically jumped back on his hands. This is a high-intensity moment, so we're guessing that viewers didn't catch this on the first watch, but that's what we're here for.
And time is money. Hop along.
Zootopia. Zootopia is a lot of fun and did a great job of introducing us to some hilarious characters while also promoting a pretty meaningful message. One of the best characters in the film is Yax, who is of course played by the notoriously chill Tommy Chong. Unfortunately for Yax, he's the subject of our latest movie mistake as he completely messes up what he calls himself. Yax, who doesn't wear clothes, incorrectly refers to himself and his fellow nudists as naturalists.
Huh? Oh, for sure, we're a naturalist club.
Which actually means experts or students of natural history. What he meant to say was naturists, as in people who don't wear any clothes. And it's unclear if this mistake was on purpose or not, but either way, we spotted it.
Does this make you uncomfortable? Because if so, there's no shame in calling it quits.
Captain America: Civil War. Captain America: Civil War brought Marvel some incredible commercial and critical success. Many people have argued that it's the best MCU film to date. That being said, the movie isn't without its fair share of goofs and slip-ups. In the first Avengers briefing with the Secretary, it can be clearly seen that in the background, Tony Stark is wearing a wedding ring. The problem is, when the shot changes, Tony can be seen in the same position, but this time with no ring. Now, it's not uncommon for playboys like Mr. Stark to take off their wedding ring once in a while, but we have to think this was an editing mistake and not a character choice.
No, definitely not.
Deadpool. In one scene, you can clearly see the eponymous anti-hero cut off his left hand. The problem is, when Deadpool is falling a few moments later, you can totally see that his right hand, not left, has been dismembered. This is either the fastest sleight of hand trick we've ever seen, or someone done goofed.
That said, when it comes time to licking wounds, there's no place like home.
While we'd love to see Deadpool perform magic tricks mid-rampage, we're certain this is an honest mistake from the fine people in the visual effects department. Deadpool also has another editing mistake hidden in it, but we can't take credit for finding this one. Check out the video our friends at the Richest YouTube channel just put out, all about shocking slip-ups from some of the biggest films in recent years. The Deadpool mistake will definitely surprise you. While you're checking out their video, subscribe to their channel, and let them know that the good people over at ScreenRant sent you.